you guys for tapping in. Coming up on today's show, Invest Brand Pod Show. This is going to be officially episode number 14. We're going to be talking about content community because it's very important what content you put out there to make sure you're hitting the right target, the right people that you need to come within your community, what have you. And it's very important for you to continue to put consistent content out there that's going to keep them within your community, that's going to give them what they are looking for and what they need. So that's very, very important. So today, topic of the show is going to be content community. So tap in. Grand rising to all my investors yourself. Thank y'all for tapping into another Invest Brand Pod Show. For today, this is officially episode number 14. We're going to be talking about is content and community because it's very important, man, when it comes to your content, whatever content that you're putting out there, making sure it's something that's going to help you build your community, especially it's the right people, the right target of people that you are looking to target and what have you. But before we get into the topic of today's show, if you can do me a favor, if you're watching this playback on our YouTube Invest Brand Podshow channel, definitely hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can get notified when a new episode drops. And also make sure you hit the like button so you could be recognized as being human. So YouTube can definitely know this is a real channel and what have you. And also, if you listen to this playback on Spotify, make sure you hit the follow button so you can be notified when a new episode drops. And that's very, very important. And make your way over to InvestBrand Pod, investbrand.com, and become part of our journey, man, because the journey was created for you, was created for y'all to be able to follow us, be able to communicate, be able to fellowship, and, you know, all through this entrepreneurship and what have you. And also, you will be able to get this Invest Brand hoodie right here. This is our signature Invest Brand hoodie, chinella patch and what have you. This is very soft, comfortable. So this is very important for you to get, man, because this is what you need when you own your journey of investing in yourself, man. This will keep you motivated. You'll be draped in the spirit of investing and what have you. But other than that, man, before we get started, I'm gonna take a quick commercial break. And we're going to get back. We're going to come back with the Quote Me on That segment. We're going to get right into the topic. But other than that, everybody, man, make sure you tap back in with me. Yep. Make your way over to investbrand.com and get your 10% off. I said 10% off. And also, when you sign up, you become a member of our journey, which we call our Investors of Self. You get exclusive access to our journey. And what you get when you become a member, what's included in that? You get to look at the pod show a day early before anybody, get weekly motivation, exclusive discounts. You will get demand notification on any new merch that drops on Invest Brand. Anything that's going on, you will get the first notice of it and be able to take advantage of it. And also, when Invest Brand drops the app, you will definitely be an exclusive member of it. You get special discounts, you get special privileges. So it's very, very important that you become part of the Invest Brand journey. So once again, if you wonder how I can become part of the Invest Brand journey and also get your 10%, make your way over to investbrand.com, sign up, and be part of our journey. Back to the Invest Brand Pod Show for today. Like I said, man, today episode we're going to be talking about is content and community. But before I get into the topic, we're going to jump into the segment, Quote Me on That. This is where I read you a quote, and I explain what I'm talking about. So let me go ahead and grab the quote up for y'all. So today, quote for today is 2 ingredients to your success: patience and discipline. Once again, let me read that just in case you didn't understand it. 2 ingredients to your success: patience and discipline. And what I mean by that quote is a lot of times, man, we don't practice being patient and we don't have the discipline to see the results, just to trust the process so we can be able to see the outcome of the work that we put in, right? Because a lot of times, man, we live in a world that everybody wants results in a microwave, right? And don't want the long-term process, right? And that's the way you're going to be able to build your successes in the long-term process. And you got to be able to be patient. Be patient. Practice some patience, because at the end of the day, it's long-term. This is not a short-term thing, because if you want short-term results, those results is not going to be everlasting results for you. So you want to do long-term, and when you're going on a long-term plan, when it comes to building your success, you definitely got to practice being patient. You got to have some discipline, right? Have some discipline to the point where you can trust the process, and that's very important. Trust the process and be disciplined within the process. And I guarantee you, I'm not going to say guarantee you, but trust me that you will be able to see the results that you are looking for, because you're not going to let yourself fail. Whatever you do in life, you're going to go hard at it, and whatever you're passionate about, you're not going to let yourself fail. So trust the process and be patient. But other than that, let's get to the topic, man. Like I said, the topic of today is content and community. And what I mean by content and community is the kind of content that you put out, right? Depending on what you want to do, which far as you've been an entrepreneur and what have you, right? The content that you're going to use to gain your following, to reach your target and what have you. So it's very important how you be strategic with your content and what you put out, because you want to get the people that you need, the right target of people that you need to come in within your community, because you don't want to waste time putting content out that's not going to reach the people that you need, right? And people that's going to join your community, they really are not the ones you want within your community, what have you. So it's very important of the content that you be strategic about putting out. Say, for instance, if you going out and you an entrepreneur and you want to do something like, I'm just going to say a clothing brand or what have you, right? And you doing, say, for instance, you doing a clothing brand about investing, right? You don't want to put out content that's going to gain people that wants to do real estate and what have you, or you don't want to put out content that's going to gain people that might be into like cars and games and stuff like that, right? You want to gain people that's into investing in themselves, right? And people that's out here pursuing goals to the point where they are too trying to put together a clothing line or what have you. They are too trying to get a gospel line out, clothing brand, far as different designs, different little quotes and what have you. So you want to gain people. You want to make sure your content is bringing in people that's investing in themselves and branding themselves in a way like far as fashion, what have you. So every piece of content that you put out, you want to make sure it's reaching that target of people and not people that doesn't really need your brand or your services and what have you. It's good to have other people outside buy into your brand, support your brand and what have you. But the people that you want within your brand is the people that is going to be the target market, and the people that you targeted towards, that's going to be right here with you, that's going to be with you for the long haul. Because people that really isn't your target, say for instance, they might buy something from you, but they're not going to be returning customers, right? Faithfully like that or what have you. So you want to make sure your content is something that you create and that's going to bring in the people within your community. And also what's important is making sure you creating the content that's going to keep the people within your community, rather than they come to your community and you don't have nothing prepared for them, right? You don't have no content prepared for them. You don't have any thing that they can learn from, no type of advice that you can give them to how to build a clothing brand, or what type of ads that they can do that's going to be successful in making conversions, or any type of content that's going to help them set up their site to be able to sell their merchandise and what have you. So when you building a community. You want to make sure it's content, and it's not even that. You want to make sure you build content that they can relate to, content that they can that they feel like, okay, I'm in the same boat as you. You want to create content that they can be in touch with, they can be in tune with, right? You want to be content that they feel like, okay, this is something that I can go along with because this is where I'm at right now, far as being an entrepreneur. This is where I'm at, far as in life, right? You want to have content that's going to be authentic to the people, people that they can feel it, right? Content where they can have engagement with, conversate about, fellowship about, what have you. So you want to make sure it's content within your community that's going to keep them there, that's going to help them, that's going to be able to where they can take it and implement within a brand, something loans of steps and advice that you give within your community. And you also want to make sure you building content to the point where it's something that they can learn from. It's content that they can gravitate towards. A lot of times we make content that's not really relevant. It's not content that's very consistent, right? You got some people that make content, but it be content that's all over the place, right? So you have a community full of people, but you have content that's all over the place. You focusing on reaching new people and not catering to the people that's already within your community. So, because that's what's very important. You want to make sure that when you are creating your content, you want to make sure you creating content that's going to very much keep the people that's going to be loyal to you, returning customers, right? Customers that's going to continue to buy from you and what have you. Because understand one thing, when you feed in the people that's already within your community, they're going to go out and reach out to other people that they know who need the information that's within your community, who needs this community fellowship that you got going on and what have you. So that's why it's so important that you make sure that you are taking care of the people that's been supporting you from day one, taking care of the people that's been within your community from the start, right? So it's very important because understand that's the very most important thing, because when it comes to the people that's already with you, it's gonna be easy for them to go out and help you find people. Like I said, yes, you as an individual, right? You might say, for instance, you might be a person that might know a lot of people. You might have a lot of prestige and what have you, and you can reach a lot of people on your own, but you can't reach everybody, right? And you don't want to reach, I'm saying you have to reach everybody, but you want to reach the right people. By having people within your community that can help you do that, reach more people that's within your area that you're trying to target it. You have people within your community that knows people too. So that's extra. That's extra hands and extra people that knows more people, where it can help you. It's like an extension to your community where it can help you reach out and target other people that's within your sector, which within what you're doing, right? So it's very important, man, to use everything that's around you, because it's very important. And that's why I say you want to make sure your content is something that they can understand. Because the thing about, man, having a community, right, is when people take a liking to you, when people really like what you're putting out, and people are willing to join your community, you got to keep them engaged, right? And see, a lot of times, like I said, we lose people within the community because we don't keep them engaged long enough to stay there. We're not feeding them or giving them what they need to stay there, right? And that's one of the biggest things for a brand, to have a community. That's one thing. Sales is good, but it's good to have community, because the community is going to help you make even more sales, right? Because you don't know everybody. You don't know everybody that's within your sector. You don't know everybody within what you're doing, right? By you having, say for instance, if you have only 10 people within your community, that's 10 more people that knows probably 200 to 300 more people that they can bring in within your community, right? So you have everybody, 10 people within your community that you can use as an extension. And that's why it's so important when it comes to building the community, making sure that you're having the content that you need to help bring people in, right? Because people like relatable content. People like content that they feel like, okay, this is what I need right here. This is what I've been looking for, right? I like the message around this brand. I like everything that they post. Everything they post is very relevant. Everything that they post is understandable. Everything they post is relatable. So I'll have this. This is what I need, right? So definitely be mindful of just making sure you don't just post anything. Post something that's going to help you build your community, because that's something that's very important, especially when you have a brand. Is building your community, because community of people is going to help you, right? A community of people, like they said, it's stronger. Yeah, you can get the job done by yourself, but when you have help, it speeds up the process even more, right? It speeds up the process to the point where it's going to help you out. You don't have to worry about too much stuff, because now you have people who really are loyal to you, loyal to your brand. They love the journey that they own with you while you go on your journey on your brand, with your brand and what have you. So that's why it's so important when it comes to making content, right? Like my steps, so when I'm building content and what have you, I'm very strategic about it. I know sometimes people say just put it out. Don't be nervous about it. Whatever you got, just put it out there. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be consistent. Yes, you definitely want to be consistent with your content. You definitely want to be consistent with it, because I don't want to get sidetracked. But let me say this real quick. You want to be consistent with your content, because the thing about it, like I said, when you have a community of people that's leaning on you, that's looking for you to post something within the community, looking for that word from you, you can't afford to post one day and 2 3 weeks later you posting again. You have a community of people that's looking for towards your post every day, because even days that you don't feel like putting content together, because we all get to that point sometimes, right? Especially if you're doing this by yourself and you don't have a team. Days that you are tired, you just get you. They have different little apps you can use, different programs, scheduling programs. Just create you some content, put it on the schedule, and put it out, because you don't want to start to be inconsistent with posting your content, because like I said, it might be your people within your community waiting that on that day for you to post something. You don't post to 2 3 days later, right? So you want to be consistent with it. But let me get back to what I was saying. When the how I do it, when I post my content and what have you, I make sure I'm very strategic about it. What picture I post, I make sure the picture is edited, make sure everything, the colors are right, make sure the words are flowing, the grammar is right. Because you got to understand, when people are looking at your posts, right, it's got to be something that's going to capture them. You can't capture people with a photo that's unedited, that's doesn't look good. You can't capture people with grammar that's bad, that's inconsistent. It doesn't sound right. Words running to each other and what have you. So you want to make sure you strategic about what you're posting, because people do look at that, right? People will critique your post. People will see your post and be like, let me scroll, let me keep scrolling. So it's got to be something that's going to be eye catching, eye popping. Got to be a picture, grammar, font, and what have you. So it's a lot of things that play into putting content together and being consistent with it, right? And like I said, I know it can be hard sometimes. It can be times where you don't feel like posting. Like I said, it's been days that I didn't feel like posting, but I have scheduling program that I use. Most of these apps, they you have where you can schedule. I know Facebook, within Facebook group. You have a group on Facebook. You can schedule your post out and what have you. So that's one thing. And I'm trying to think what else you can use to schedule. I don't know if Instagram do it. They might allow you to schedule your content out and what have you. I don't know if TikTok does. What's going on to all my entrepreneurs out there, my 9-to-5 workers with side businesses, or people just want to bet on themselves? What better way than go to invest brand? This is what we're here for, man. We are investing, motivating you. That's our main mission, man. Helping you find your why in life. Because when you think about it, a lot of people in this world today don't know their why, don't know what it is, don't know what their purpose is. And this is what NVest brand was created for, man, to help you get on your path, get on your journey to understanding and knowing your why. So why not come to NVest brand? Because NVest brand, we are here daily to motivate you to keep going through your journey. This is what we invest in. We invest in giving back to the people, helping you stay motivated. Invest brand was created for you. So go to investbrand.com, subscribe to the journey, because the journey is created for you to be part of, for you to join. Why not come to the brand? Investbrand.com. Go there. Get your motivation streetwear so you can stay motivated every day. So when you forget what you're on this mission for, or you forget your purpose, all you gotta do is look down to the shirt and it'll give you that reminder of why you are doing it for. Remember, investbrand.com. But they have different little scheduling apps, programs that you can look online, or you can go to your Play Store, Apple Store, what have you, that you can put on your phone, so you can connect your platforms with it, so where you can schedule your content out, so you can make a lot of it. So it's different little things that you can do, but you got to make sure that your content is consistent, especially when it comes to your community and what have you, right? You got to make sure like I said, your content is relatable to the people that's within your community. You got to make sure your content is something that they can take and use for advice, content that they deem as something that they really can use, something that they're looking forward to and what have you. So it's very important to make sure that your content is very on point, because that will help you build your community. See, when people consistently seeing your content, when they go into their platform or what have you, or they scrolling through their feed and they constantly seeing your content pop up, it's gonna trigger them, right? Even say, for instance, if people see your content, right, they scroll, and probably fourth or fifth time they see your content, they're gonna stop. Like, you know what? I keep seeing this content. You know what I'm saying? I keep seeing this brand right here. Let me check this out. You know, it looks good. Everything looks good every time I see it. But it might be that day that they finally be like, you know what? Let me check this brand out. Let me check this and see what they talking about. See what they about. Everything looks good. Let me check out the website, right? Let me check out, see what's going on. And right there, you know, and can capture somebody real quick to the point where people will sign up. Like, you know what? I like the message of this brand, what they have and what have you. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and sign up with this. Sign up to be within that community. I'm gonna join that community and what have you, right? Because I want to be part of this journey. I want to see what this brand is all about. I love they content. I love the product that they have. I want to see what it is that's so good about this brand and what have you, because every time I see it, it's like, you know, subconsciously it's there, but I never stopped to look to see what they was about. So it's very important, man, when it comes to your content, to make sure that you have something that's well put together, that's strategic, that plays into people, because it's all about the psychologists of the colors, the wording, the keywords and what have you. But it's all about one thing too, is being authentic. Now, I don't want to tell you something to the point where you're not being authentic about your post. You're just trying to post something so you can get people in your community, but you don't have no plans or no direction for them whatsoever. But I'm just telling you to make sure everything is strategically planned, make sure everything is good before you post it, but make sure you don't leave out the one ingredient, and that's the authenticity of it. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure it's authentic as possible. That's very, very important because people can feel that when people do take a liking to your content. That's one of the one things that does stick out is the authentic. They can feel whether it's authentic or not. So definitely don't forget to add your authentic self within your posts, right? So that's one thing that's very important, man. Just to make sure that when you building your community, make sure your content is something that's going to help keep them there. You putting content out that's going to get them to come in, and you making content that's going to keep them there, something that they can gravitate towards, something they take a liking of. So that's very, very, very important, man. As a brand, make sure your content is something that's on point, because it's very important. Because trust me, it does matter. Detail matters. Detail matters a whole lot. If you taking pictures of your shirts, of your pants, of your socks, of your hats, make sure everything is on point, because detail does matter as a brand. Detail matters to people. So don't take a unprepared shirt, unprepared pants, and what have you, and take a picture of them, and it doesn't come out good, and you posting it just to have something. It's not going to work out. Make something, make sure your content is on point, creating content with detail, and making sure it's authentic. That's the things that you need to make sure that your post's going to stick out and whatsoever. So that's very, very important. But before I leave y'all for today, make sure y'all see the hoodie. Y'all see the hoodie? Invest brand. This is, if y'all want to get this, go to investbrand.com, man. This is very special right here. This is our signature Chanel hoodie. Definitely Chanel patch. Comfortable. This is a very comfortable hoodie, guys. So you can find this on investbrand.com. If you subscribe now, I think if you catch it on Facebook, what have you, I know it's an ad running on Facebook right now. It's an ad running. You get 15% off if you get it now. Use the code. Matter of fact, I got a code. The code for it, you get 15% off. You go to the site, use the code. Is my hoodie. Is my hoodie. Is the code. 15% off is my hoodie. It's capital M. Everything after the M is lowercase. My hoodie. M, capital M, YHOODIE. And it's no space in between. It's all together. My hoodie is all together. The capital M, everything else after the M is lowercase YHOODIE. So everything's together. So don't put no space in between my and hoodie. It's all together in all one word. My hoodie. 15% off. You go to the site, investbrand.com and what have you. This is a very special hoodie. Nice, warm. It's not too heavy, not too light, right in between. So this is what you need, man. When you out here investing in yourself, you want to be Drake. Invest brand stands for you are your own brand. So you got to invest in yourself, man. Invest in your brand. That's yourself. And it's very, very important, guys. So like I said to all my subscribers, we got investor of self shirts that's going to be coming soon. And we got two coming. We got one we're going to sell on the site, and we got another one that we're going to send out to all our subscribers that are subscribed to Invest Brand. So you definitely going to get your own investor of self shirt. So we got a lot of good things coming in to Invest Brand. So that's what it's about, man. When you branding, you have a brand, you got to make sure you providing things for your customers that show them that you appreciate them for supporting you. Because without your customers, without people that supporting you, your brand will not stand. So that's very important, man. When you have a brand, you got to make sure you show your appreciation for the people that are supporting you and who are support of your community. So that's very important, man, because this journey, it's been great. You know what I'm saying? This journey has been wonderful. And that's what makes it so well worth it, man. Just knowing that you're doing something that you love, something that you're passionate about, makes the journey even worth going on and what have you, right? You know, not saying it's always going to be easy days, but the days that's not easy make you appreciate it even more. Make sure it make you even want to work even 10 times harder because you know that your day is coming. Your day is coming. So that's to all my entrepreneurs out here, man. Make sure, like I said, if you're watching this playback on the Invest Brand YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you're notified when a new episode drop. And they hit the like button, man, so they know this is real. And also, if you listen to this on Spotify, make sure you hit the follow button so you get notified when episode drop. And all my Apple users out there, Invest Brand Podshow still going to be coming to Apple Podcasts, so be on the lookout, and we definitely let you know when that is official. But other than that, man, thank y'all for tuning in, tapping in to another show of the Invest Brand. This is officially episode 14. So thank y'all. Yep.